Great morning, business owners and managers. Wes Walters here. So I was at a lunch and learn event yesterday, downtown Atlanta, and the vendor, the person that the company that was providing the meals, the lunch, most of their staff were temps. How do I know this? I can spot a temp from a mile away. It doesn't matter what uniform you have on. I can just tell a temp. So most of their team were temps. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, it's college is out. It's a lot of college students. No. Listen, the job market, like it's tight out there. These were seasoned adults, like north of 35. These were adults, not college, not young adults. Adults, like adults who have college students as kids. But anyway, what jumped out to me was not only were they temps, but so let me say this. Restaurant owners or those in the hospitality industry, your temps are a reflection of your business. Let me say that again. Yes, I know you have temps. I know they're temps. I know you see them as those people over there. But in reality, the customers, let's just say I wasn't a customer experience professional. The other people sitting at the table with me, they see the server or the person dropping off bread with no gloves and touching the top of the glass with no gloves. They see that person as a reflection of your company. They don't be like, well, this company's amazing, but it's just these temps that's the problem. Yes, I'm going to give them a 5-star review. That's not the way it works. That's not the way how it works, people. So what jumped out to me is, so let me just bring it full circle. If you're dealing with food, the people on your team need to look clean, healthy, and professional. Let me say that again. If you are dealing with food, if they are touching food, if they're getting close to food, if they're in contact with food, they should look clean, professional, and healthy. Let's just say at this lunch and learn yesterday, drum roll, please. What did you have to eat, Wes? Drum roll, please. I had Doritos. Now, anyone who knows how health conscious I am, I don't eat Doritos. But it was Doritos or fast another day, and I didn't want to fast yesterday. I was hungry, right? So I had to go to the snack machine and get some Doritos because the temps that were handling the food, that were touching cups from the top of the brim of the cup and dropping it off. Obviously, these were temps that were hired yesterday. They were like, hey, they just made a posting. And sometimes I get these text messages too. I'm not sure why or who sold my phone number, why I'm on this list. But I get text messages as well about, hey, temp service. There's a job today at the Georgia World Congress Center. There's a job at Phillips Arena. There's a job at State Farm Arena. And it's a day work. It's labor work. And I'm not sure how my number got on that list, but somebody sold my information and I get the text. So I could tell that these individuals probably just replied to a text and they're like, hey, just come in black clothes and you're hired. No training, no nothing. And that bothers me. That really bothers me. Why? Because there are a lot of evil people in this world. Let's just keep it a buck. And we don't know. I'm willing to venture out and to bet that these individuals were not screened, were not given health screenings. So we don't know what someone has. And that's with any restaurant, of course. So I'm not beating up on this lunch and learn. That's with anyone. But it was a clear reminder that these were temps. That yesterday this person didn't have a job. Yesterday this person was working at the back of a garbage truck. And today, in an effort to make more money as a side gig, they were serving food. So they're holding the trays like this. You can tell they're not seasoned waiters. They're like holding the trays with two hands, like spilling water, spilling orange Fanta. I mean, like, I saw this one temp was bringing a basket of bread. One of the breads rolled on the tray. In classic temp style, she did not disclose. I mean, he did not toss. It was a female. She did not toss the bread. No, she touched the bread with her bare hand and put it right back into the basket and delivered that basket with a smile. True story. So, needless to say, after what I saw, I said, as bad as Doritos are, they're in a sealed bag, and I'm going to risk eating these Doritos over getting E. coli from this dude right here who's digging his nose and think that nobody is seeing him. I mean, these were the absolute worst temps I've ever seen. They were dirty. So the uniform, I would say they were in uniform. The uniform was like, hey, we're all black. Some of the clothes were dirty. Some of the clothes were not ironed. A lot of them were not ironed. The women, their hairs were like, this one lady had her hair in a rubber band. Just, hey, listen. One, let me say this, because I know people are going to jump in and be like, hey, these people are trying to make it. Hey, you're right. If you're working and you have the determination to work and you want to get off your butt and get a job, and even if it's temp, salute to you. So I'm not beating up on them. I am talking to the manager of this company, the owner of this company, letting them know, hey, a customer experience professional was in the audience, and probably a lot of other professionals were in the audience, and they're looking at this and they're seeing where you're choosing to cut costs. And in the hospitality industry, cutting costs with clean, professional, healthy employees, that's not where you want to cut costs at all. Because one, if I didn't eat, there was a lot of other people that didn't eat, and there's a lot of other people who potentially could have used your company or your business in the future and are refusing because they know that you hire temps off of the street. So let me land this plane. If you are in the hospitality industry, your competitive, it's crazy that this is the competitive advantage. Wow. Listen, times are really, really getting, this is a competitive advantage in 2025. Wow. All right, here we are. So in the hospitality industry, your competitive advantage is no longer just the best food or the best drinks or the best margaritas or the best ambience or the big screen TV. No, your competitive advantage right now is that the people that are delivering the food and at the face of the brand, your frontline employees, the ones that are in contact with your customers, your competitive advantage is that they should look clean, healthy, and professional. That is how low the bar is for entry right now. This is how low it is. Your competitive advantage in 2025 in the hospitality industry is not anything to do with servicescape, nothing to do with the ambiance, nothing to do with this amazing property, nothing. Original art pieces from, no, none of that means anything. Your competitive advantage in 2025 is having employees that are healthy, that look healthy, clean, and professional. That's how low the bar is. So please take heed and expect a lot more of this. Expect it to get even worse because employers now, business owners now know that It is a hires market. The companies have the power. Remember not too long ago, employees had the power? Well, we're not working for a company. We got to come in every day. I want remote. I want to have an Xbox. Yeah, remember that? Well, the pendulum has swung back in the opposite direction. Now it's the companies are like, these are what we want. And if you can't do it, somebody else will for $5 less. So that's where we are right now. Reasons to be humble when you can. And that's how low the bar is. And it's going to get worse because, again, the companies are now in power. The companies are now in a position where, yeah, we have the power back. So expect that going into the summer to get worse. All right? And to wipe out or to beat your competition, all you have to do is take the extra time in screening, having a brief in-service, showing your temps what's expected of them. Like, hell, you got to be clean. Hey, your clothes have to be ironed. Your hair have to be groomed. And here's an example. I'm not against dreads. I'm not. I know you're like, this hypocrite, he's bald-headed. No. If you should saw me when I was younger, I am not against dreads. But at least make them look presentable, man. Make the dreads look presentable. Like I don't have the rosters coming at me, so I'm going to leave that alone. But I'm not against dreads. I'm not against dreads. Both of my kids have dreads, so that should let you know I'm not against dreads. But make them neat. Have them look presentable. Have them look clean. Like one of the ladies that was serving, she brought over my water. And in her dreads, I could see cotton, lint. It looked like it looked like a science project. So it had lint, wool, cotton, polyester, and dirt in her dreads. And she's leaning over me, dropping off my water that I was like, with her hand over that I'm like, I'm not drinking that. Are you kidding me? Even with the straw, I'm not drinking that. So that's where we are in 2025. Q2 2025, the bar of entry is so low that if you make great pancakes, you can not only exceed your customer expectations, but you can win because what you're competing against, they're not serious, or they're cutting costs in places where they don't need to be cutting costs. All right, so please take heed, and see you guys tomorrow.